that's enough of that, right? Woo! Nice and toasty in here. I'm gonna kill that music so I can talk and you can hear. So, I gotta order a blow-off valve spring. This knockoff tile from eBay, which, from all my research, this thing is made practically the same as a tile, maybe not quite as clean as machine work, but definitely worth the $200 difference. So anyways, it comes with a 6 PSI spring, or a 6-pound spring, and a 18. No happy medium. This thing pulls about 10 inches a vacuum, so I need to order like a 10 to 12 spring. And then right now this is a 6 with 4 washers shimming it, and it's still pulling it open. So I'm not gonna put any more washers in there. I'm gonna order another spring, and I guess I'll just have to wait till that comes in till I can make the boosty whooshies. It's not gonna be able to boost until it's actually driving anyways, under load, or it shouldn't, but it's getting there. So the intake piping. Oh, she's so pretty. So pretty. I have one coupler here, which this could actually come back and be welded. I could have my fab guy weld this for me later. Don't know if I will or not. Don't know if it's worth the trouble. This side is welded. And well, see how prettiful that is. Piping I did black just because you'll see it underneath the car, and I wanted it to be kind of hidden. And my dog's going nuts constantly. The intercooler you'll see through the grill, so I wanted that to still be the normal aluminum color, silver, whatever. But she's technically boosted now, even though she hasn't built boost. She's turbo's hooked up, and it's moving in the forward direction so far. I hit a roadblock yesterday and was about to pull out my hair. Thought I was gonna be backtracked and held up, but I fixed it. See my pretty brackets I made. Oh, such nice, fancy, and easy as heck to make. They're just some pieces of flat bar that I welded together in a 90. Easy peasy. Anyways, so my issue yesterday was I wired up my reverse lights. All right, so got my rear balance and I got these lights hooked up. Well, I tested those, they tested fine. Well, my roommate walked out and he was like, oh, so you got everything done on the back side? I was like, yeah, man. Everything but the tag light, which I got that hooked up now. I'll light that up just so you can see. Oh, them pretty gauges. So, tail lights. Boom. LED tag light. Boom. It's so pretty. Anyways, so that works. Anyways, he was asking if I got finished, so I was like, yeah. And I went to show him. Hit the brakes, pop, big arc, popped the fuse, don't know what the heck it was. I was like, well, that's not good. So I was like, I wonder what's up with if the running lights work. I clicked the running lights, they didn't do anything. I don't know what the hell. It never popped a fuse for them or anything, but they didn't work. Then I was like, well, let me try the hazards. Hit the hazards, boom, another spark. And yeah, that's the sound sparks make, in case you didn't know. Anyways, sparked, popped that fuse. So then I was like, well, what the hell? So I started tracing wires and pulling shit loose and testing everything. I pulled my steering column apart, I pulled my cluster out, I pulled my headlight switch, which luckily I did because I would have been pissed when I went to test my headlights. There's 3 rows on the headlight switch. It's like 3, 2, and 3. And the headlight is the middle towards the front, I think. And I had it in this spot over here. So it just wouldn't have worked is all. But that didn't what caused my problem. I don't know what actually caused the problem. The best guess was that these taillight sockets, these pins in here that are sprung terminals, maybe moved around and got bumped into the housing that's grounded. It's the best guess. I ended up coming out here today after I finished testing everything. I tested all the column, thinking maybe my blinker switch crapped out, something shorted in there. Then I was like, well, I was getting some weird readings, or I thought they were weird readings off of this fuse block, so I called them and I was telling him all I had. I told him what the weird readings was, and he pretty much explained that that's normal And as soon as you apply voltage, I was getting ground on circuits that should have voltage, or I was getting voltage on circuits that should have ground. It was weird. It was pretty much saying that because the circuit's not on, it was showing the other side of the circuit, whatever. You were just seeing it. But anyways, and he was right, because I wired it back up and everything works miraculously. So everything's hooked back up. Obviously the car was just running, and the only thing I have to do now is I just got some pretties in today. CJ's showed up with, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but probably can't. Underneath there, yeah, it's Dynamat for underneath there. These little clips showed up. I think that's where they go. I might end up changing these and putting a bolt there or a rib nut through this to hold this. I don't really like this little spring clippy thing. It's not very secure. Used to, I had speakers here that would hold this steady so it didn't move around. There's nothing really to hold this down or keep it from flopping around. I don't have AC right now, so the windows are gonna be down. So I don't want this thing moving all over the place, so I need to get something to hold it a little steadier. I ordered this, which is supposed to be for the package tray. I don't know where these go. Anybody knows? Let me know. Tell me where these little clippies and these two screws go. I have no clue. Let's see. So that came in. Also, this stuff came in. Auto glass caulk stuff and sealant, urethane, and some clip tools, clippy tools from Amazon, and this little bone or PVC thingy. I think they call it a bone. It's just a little run tool, so you can run along the gasket to get its seat. Anyways, I'm gonna try to do my windshield and my rear glass. Never done it before. Watched some videos. It doesn't seem too difficult. I think I can do it. I'm gonna have a friend come over, maybe my dad come help me, but some extra hands to make sure I don't drop this windshield and I don't break something in the process or screw something up. On the videos on YouTube, there's different ways. Feel free to drop a comment, tell me how, if you've done this before, please. Don't go off what, I mean, I can watch videos or I've seen videos and read things, but if you've done this, how you did it. I've seen everything from the glass side. Let's see, Auto Resto Mods, on the glass side of the gasket, they filled the gasket with this bedding compound, which I have, and then they stuck it on, and that made an utter mess. I've read on other people that said that's not necessary, you don't need to do that. Some people take the glass, no, not the glass side, the outside, and we'll lay that strip caulk, like what I did around the gas tank, and I also put it around the taillights because these sockets were wobbly. These right here. So I put strip caulk around there to stabilize it, and in case anybody's worried that this needs to get a ground, it has a ground, so no worries. But anyways, so they put strip caulk, and then they put a rope after that, and they rope it that way. And then you'll put bedding compound all along this when you set the gasket down. And I guess whenever you rope it over, the bedding compound kind of gets on that backside too. So you bed compound this, you lay the glass down, you rope it in, and it beds inside of there. Then they'll go back and they'll make sure it's got bedding compound around the clips, all around this outside perimeter of the gasket. Then Mustangs to Fear, this is how they did it, by the way. They also went back, so since they didn't put bedding in the gasket, what they did is they took this urethane sealer, which I bought some of that, which does set up and act like glue. They shoved the tip in, they harden it, they wrap a bunch of tape around it. I've seen somebody on YouTube take like a wire clothes hanger type thing along the caulk tip and then tape that to give it some stiffness so you can shove it under the gasket. And they just ran that underneath the gasket against the glass all the way around, and then they went back and they pushed it down, and then they wiped up the excess that smushed out. That's how they did it, and it seemed like that's the way to do it, is to bed compound around this, around the outside, and then when you rope it in, it gets bed compound around that, or like in this pinch weld, and then you come back with that urethane and you go around the glass itself. But that's the plan. I'm gonna do the front and the back, gotta get that done. The side glass, the chrome trim, masking tape pulled it off the epoxy that I had sprayed, so I have to go back and Cerakote those still. Haven't done them yet. I need to install the quarter glass still. Need to install this molding. I think it's that up there. I gotta figure out how to do that. I don't remember. I think this is a 2-piece. I think it has a top and then another piece smushes against that with some two-sided, I don't know if it's two-sided foam, but with some sticky back foam that goes around it, and like you screw through the foam, and that's what seals these screw holes and whatnot. But I think they rivet the top layer, and then you screw the other layer. Don't remember what this little hole here is for. This little square hole. I don't know if you can see that or not. Yeah, that. So there's that one. There's this one. I don't know if there's little white clips that go in those, like these little. Oh, I thought I had some. Apparently I don't. Don't know where they're at. Anyways, they're little like what's used on the tag. They're just little square plastic things that pop in, and then you can run a screw into it. They kind of act like an anchor. Anyways, got to do that. Got to get the quarter glass in. Got to do this molding here. Got to figure out how to do that. Go watch some videos or something. And also good news, carpet ordered. It's showing up tomorrow. Heck of fast shipping. I talked about it in the last video. It's stockinteriors.com. I'll probably do a follow-up video later about how satisfied I am with it. But as far as their selection, their pricing, and their shipping, couldn't ask for more. Amazing. So I got my foam down. I don't have foam back here. I'll have to put that down still. And then I'll lay the carpet down. And I gotta cut holes for where everything goes, like the shifter, seat belts, the seat, bolts, all that goodness. I probably won't install the carpet tomorrow. I may start on it. It depends on what I'm doing. I really don't know. But the carpet color is pretty much the same as this, real close to that. It's not quite as silver. It's a little bit duller and darker. It's what they call gray, but it's real close to that color. My seats, you'll see later when I bring them back, because they're up front in the garage. They came out also amazing. I'd used some vinyl and fabric spray. I think it's Duplicolor. Don't really recall for sure. But anyways, before my seats were light blue exterior, and then the seat pad in the middle was dark blue. So now they are gray around the outskirts and then black in the middle. And they came out beautifully, and hopefully that stuff holds up and doesn't start rubbing off from sliding onto the seats constantly. Driving around in here during summer when I'm hot, sweaty, and the heat's getting to it. We're gonna see how it holds up. Let's see if I did anything else. I don't think so. I still have this problem with this door where it has to be snatched open. Don't know what I'm gonna do with that other than swap this strike out. You can see it's starting to rub a little bit there. If anyone knows the dash here, there's a spot over here that has a little stud. I think you have a nut that goes on it. I believe this is her right here. What is the best way to access that? Do you do it through this hole, like pull these gauge cluster out where the radio would go? Or do you access it through the cigarette lighter? Drop a comment, let me know what's the best way to access that. The cigarette lighter is probably the easiest to remove, but it's not bad to remove those gauges either. I just don't know which one's easier to get to, especially with those AC vents in the middle. Yeah, I think that's it. I don't think there's anything else for me to chat about, talk about, update on, whatever. But so far, everything on the car is coming together. Like I said, I need my wastegate, spring, and I got to do all my glass and my gaskets. My door weather strip too. Still got to do that. So I got a hole in the carpet and seats I got to drop in. But other than that, I got my door panels. I got my seals for what they call moisture barrier. Yeah, water shields. These. Bought these. These have shit reviews. We're gonna see how bad they are. They weren't that expensive. They're like 15 bucks. Pretty much all the reviews said that the holes don't line up. The plan is later on to go to the Dynamat, because Dynamite sells a pre-cut piece that will seal that whole area off, and I'll go to that. But for the time being, I don't want to put that on because I still have to install the glass, and later on I plan on going to power windows. So, well, obviously the glass will be on before I do the weather barrier things anyways, but I plan to do power windows later. So I don't want to have to pull the Dynamat off because you can't reuse it. If you pull it off, it tears it up, and then you have to clean all the area and then reapply it. It's just a pain, and that stuff's not real cheap. I want to say the door kit was close to $100. I'm not positive, but I think it was around 100 or even possibly more. So, yeah, that's it. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. And maybe next time I'll have my wastegate fixed and my carpet in. Later.